Yo, guys, Beast back with some more beastly content. So today we are going to be covering farming in Way of Winter. So this is going to be everything you need to know. First things first, the thermal tower upgrade. So you're going to need a total of 36 of each fertilizer. So all of these do different things. So the thermostatic cover one actually increases your yield by 1, and then the very top upgrade there, the tree looking one, that one will actually be giving you 50% chance of getting an extra seed when you harvest your plants. Also, another thing that you might want if you're doing a farm is actually to use the polluted area thermal tower upgrade, but do be warned that will mean you can't actually pump purified water out of the ground anymore, at least until the devs actually update the game. So apparently there's an update coming to where water pumps will allow you to like switch what you're pumping and choose what you're pumping, which should be very interesting and should allow for farms to be able to have farms and also be in a polluted area. I have a solution for water, but once again, these thermal tower upgrades you're going to want to be getting. There's things you're needing like the Chaosium and of course the fertilizers. I am going to cover the fertilizers. These used to be a lot more difficult when the season had first started. When the season first started, you actually needed to get your hands on a level 40, 45, or 50 pneumatic called the silver pickaxe, or the gold pickaxe, and you actually need to make a silver pickaxe and then go mine trees, and there's a chance for random fruit to drop. Now, if you use the one-hit cheeseburger, then it will make all trees that you chop only take one hit, and it will give you all the rewards, so it will make it where it takes a lot less time to get apples and things like that. But thanks to the fact that the devs have now actually updated this, the yield boost fertilizer will actually use mushrooms, snow fungus, or morels now, and all the fertilizers have been updated now, so they use multiple items. Breeding boost can actually use scarlet calamus, sage, bellflower, honeysuckle, or here's a really interesting one, ConeFlower, also saffron even, and yellow lotus, and aloe vera. I mean, just deviated aloe vera, everything. You can use everything for breeding boost now. One of those ConeFlower actually can be farmed in Way of Winter very, very easily. But on to growth boost, so if you have cucumbers, tomatoes, or onions, you can just grow those and make your growth boost. That will make the tower upgrade so much easier when it comes to the growth boost. Using that silver axe to go get apples was an absolute grind. I have done it once before on my previous tower. However, I was not looking forward to doing that again. This will make doing the growth boost really, really easy. That's also how I have all the fertilizer already, is because with these new crops that you can just grow for the fertilizers now that they have updated it, it makes the upgrades a lot easier. And it's something you're going to really, really want to have when farming in Way of Winter, because these upgrades will be helpful. So like a yield +1 on every plant, that is great. And then also, on top of that yield +1 for every plant, there's a 50% chance of an extra seed for every plant. So getting your seeds back should be easier. You shouldn't have to do breed boosting as much. And even if you do, once again, ConeFlower can be farmed in the game very, very easy. There's a spot where you can get over 100 of it super duper easily without any sort of issue. And it's actually this spot right here. So there's this event called Paradise Lost that goes on in the game. Just outside of its area where I put this little marker on is a field, and if you just run through that field you will find a ton of ConeFlowers. I think even some of the other flowers that were mentioned there for breed boosting, you'll just find a ton of ConeFlowers there. That way you can get a ton of ConeFlower seeds and a ton of ConeFlowers. And then also on your next season of Way of Winter, when we go on to the next season of Way of Winter, you will actually go and be able to farm the ConeFlower instead of worrying about farming scarlet calamus. But let's go ahead and get on into like the best crop grow facility. And I've seen a lot of people that recommend planter boxes, and I can't stand it. Okay, so I understand there's a pneumatic that makes like the planter boxes give a little bit more of like a yield or something like that if you have that pneumatic. But if you get that pneumatic, roll it for something else, because there's so many other better pneumatics. So loamy soil actually is the best thing to be growing on, just because in a 2x2 area you can fit, I'm pretty sure I've fit 70 before in a 2x2 area, but you can fit at least, I'm thinking 50 per 2x2 area. This is expandable just by building another 2x2, and it's a 2x2 platform with 2 high walls, 4 pieces on the ceiling, and then right dead center of the ceiling there's going to be a light. Right down in the middle is going to be the irrigator, and then all you have to do is place on the very top of the actual facility a water storage container, and then either build stairs up there or have a pump running water up to there. I'll show you how my setup works in a little bit. We'll just go ahead and fill my farm up. Well, I actually don't think I'm going to show it to you, but Anyway, what should you be growing in way of winter? So let's go ahead and get on to this. So Stardust energy drinks are useful. All they require you to grow is saffron and beets, and technically you don't even need to grow the beets because I just use a Fetch-a-Lot bunny setup and just turn any beets I get into sugar right away. So I have some sugar, you know, we're good. So bacon burger. If you got this recipe, this thing is amazing. So used to make mining and logging require 1 strike to complete for 10 minutes. I mean, this is right up there with the canned seafood. Yes, I know there's not the luck % chance, but you are going to be getting a lot of stuff mined very, very quickly. And when I'm doing shellfish, I usually prefer the bacon burger over the canned seafood because all the canned seafood ever does for me is actually just give me gravel. Speaking of which, canned seafood needs morels and the corn oil. So corn oil can be made from, you guessed it, corn. So you want to grow yourself some corn, get your hands on the morel seeds, get them boosted up, you can grow them. Technically, if you don't care about the chance of getting a growstrom, which I'm not sure if it's even a thing in this season, you can grow morels instead of mushrooms and just bulk grow morels and have your canned seafood and your yield boost fertilizer. So, anti-gravity milkshake requires a cucumber, a deviated cucumber. Anti-gravity milkshake makes your carry weight 9,999 for 30 minutes, guys. Anti-gravity milkshake, super duper OP. Get your hands on some cucumber seeds. Now, I'm thinking that the Fetch-a-Lot bunnies can bring back the cucumber seeds. I'm thinking there might be a vendor selling like 3 cucumber seeds a week or a day or something like that somewhere on one of the settlements, so go check there as well if you don't have the cucumber seeds. But you want to get cucumber seeds, and if you don't have these recipes, once again, you had to go get them in Manibus. But yeah, so Yambio dumplings, these are pretty easy. So it's just like wheat, deviated morels, normal cabbage, and then 3 masala. Masala is obtained from mining trees with a gold pickaxe from that level 40, 45, and 50 Mamatic I mentioned. So, securement soup requires, once again, masala, peppercorn. So you're going to need your peppercorn seeds. You are going to want to be growing some peppercorn. Pickles. So, pickles, cheese, and things like that. Throughville is a great place to go. Loot all the crates there, and I've gotten cheese drops there. I've gotten pickles drops. It's just a good place to go farm for, like, cooking ingredients, because I don't actually think no one even really covers that. Throughville is a pretty good place to farm for the cooking ingredients, like the pickles and the cheese and the things like that. So go run through Throughville. You should get yourself some cheese pretty easily in Throughville. It's Throughville or Mooseville. I'm thinking I'm saying Throughville, but that might be Manibus, and it's Mooseville. But anyway, Mooseville, but you know what I'm saying. All-weather soup. So this is great. You just need ice melons, spike tomatoes, I think it's Sunny Ginger and one of the other ones. I have them wrote down here. But what this does is gives you 30 heat and cold resist and can clear heat stroke and hypothermia statuses. So if you're dying from heat stroke or hypothermia and you consume this stew, you'll stop dying. You can actually save yourself from dying when you're freezing or you're burning to death. Both of them can just be stopped with the securement soup. Also, it kind of seems like the ultimate food item. So if you just grow those 3 seeds that you're going to need there, you're going to have a lot better time. Definitely be growing the seeds for that soup. Canned spicy rabbit dices. I'm guessing these polar peppers, I'd like to obtain them because it does increase your blaze damage. So it's good for my build. Another thing I want to mention is this is an Alcott Easter egg. Think it's like a level 45 and 50 Mamatic thing. It can be. You gotta get bird eggs, but then you can do most crops, and I think it's like most flowers, and then Stardust source, and that's even replaceable. I'm not sure what with, but we'll look. And that, like, it's a very interesting item. The egg will like give you random loot from a chest. I want to do a video on that in the future. Not exactly something I'm going to tell you to go, farm stuff specifically for, but if you wanted to do a bunch of eggs, you'd have to grow a bunch of stuff that it requires. So, yeah, just figured I'd mention an Alcott egg there. So, where we are actually now is going to be where we're going to be getting fertilizers. So, using the anti-gravity milkshake, 9,999 on our carry weight. Used the one-hit bacon burger. We got 10 minutes to farm for shell rocks. So I showed the location on map a second ago. Here we go. All you do is go up to these shell rocks and mine them. Also, make sure you have to drill out because the rock doesn't one hit. So let's go ahead and get our drill equipped again and get through this. So this is an absolute great place to just go ahead and farm this. I'm going to go ahead and tell you another place where I like to farm my shell rock. Once again, just take yourselves the anti-gravity milkshake. Once you have the deviated cucumbers up, you can then take yourselves a bacon burger or canned seafood oil. That can work too, though you're going to get a lot of gravel, but with that carry rate, who cares? I actually like to go to the Snake Belly teleporter and go do the beach just outside of the Snake Belly teleporter. Only because there's like more tungsten deposits there, and while you have 30 minutes of infinite carry weight, you might as well be mining other ores while you're also collecting your shellfish rock to be turning into fertilizer in the composter. So this is just the easiest way to get like thousands of fertilizer super duper quickly in Way of Winter. This is my favorite spot to farm the shellfish rock, guys. And once again, this one right here, I like this more than the other area. This is just a super great area. All you do is just drive straight from the teleporter and boom, you're here running through, gathering all that shell rock up. As you can see here, we're just getting an absolute ton of it. Already at a few hundred just from just being here. I usually farm that up till I have like a couple thousand shell rock, and then I head back to base. Also, if you are needing Chaosium for the towers and you've already done like, I've shown it previously, there's an area you can go to, that's the church area with like 480 Chaosium barrels. But aside from that, you can also go do Silo Delta on normal. It's super duper easy to do. You don't have to worry about repairing your gear, your armor, or anything like that, because just your gun should be able to carry you through this on the normal difficulty if you're max level. Because every enemy in here is one shot. You can literally go through it. You kind of learn like what's the best way to clear through it. Like watch, this is how I'm clearing through it right now. This has been the fastest way I use this as a Chaosium farm. It just seems like the fastest way. It's infinitely repeatable, so I don't have to worry about having the permits or anything like that. I do still recommend for you to do refineries if you can, and get the refineries done, but if you don't have the permits, this is a great place to do it. Also, Faciliy is not a terrible place to do Chaosium and farms, and I will say if you just go to like most of the areas where you're going to get your tier 5 materials anyway and your platinum crystals and kill the enemies there, you're also going to be getting a lot of Chaosium. But if you want one, you can just sit there and infinitely repeat just by pushing the repeat button. This silo is it, and you can sit there and farm up thousands and thousands of Chaosium. I think the most I ever sat in one run and farmed this for was 7,000 Chaosium. Back when I got my level 19 tower up there, before I deleted it. So, yeah, and once again, what I always recommend is have Spring Lakes on you guys. This is great. Frog the Leaper drops from this silo, so just keep running this till you get Frog the Leaper. Throw them in a containment cell, and make yourselves some of those wonderful whatever it is, spring legs ones, so that you can have that double jump. That way you can actually jump to the boss area like I just did, instead of running around the other walk around area. It just takes so many more seconds to do that. I just wanted to run this as quick as possible. If you're doing this just for the deviation farm, if you kill that boss and no deviation drops, you could technically just dip the match there, go back into the silo, kill the boss again, and see if another deviation drops. But if you're here for the Chaosium, a whole ton of enemies spawn after you kill that boss, and they all just run out that door there. So you can just kill all of those for even more Chaosium. I will say, I believe the total here ended up being like 170 or 180 off of a single run of this, which, once again, it's not the amount, it's the fact that it takes like a minute and a half to do this, guys. I mean, it takes absolutely no time, and it's slower or faster based upon, you know, your performance of the game, but regardless, it's a very, very quick run, and it's a very fun run, and the chance of getting a random deviation is very, very nice, especially if you don't have Frog the Leaper or you don't have a lot of the Ember Furnace guys. But yeah, and as you can see here, the last one is finally done. This is the one that's going to be giving us that 50% chance of us extra seed yield. So once again, I wanted to show you just my water setup real quickly of how I'm handling not being able to currently pump normal water anymore, because I only pump polluted water. I actually have two storage silos here that I will go out and gather dirty water, and then I will just place them in these two things. They run through an osmosis purifier, actually two, which then runs to this water tank here. Now this is on side 1 of the base. On side 2, we have a whole nother setup for water, which actually does hold the water. But we also have the 3 rainwater collectors that you can have in a base on this side, also flowing into there. Usually all the water there actually just gets used on the barrels though, so I can't even use that for my crop facilities. So here is this side, and I just built this, and we're going to see how this works out, but this is only being connected from the water thingies, so the water collection source things, they're running down to a water container, which is running to its own osmosis purifier, which is then running to its own separate storage container for the water right here. So I want to see what a daily login of that looks like. If it ends up being, I just need to get 6 stacks of water every single time I log into it, plus to be able to keep my irrigators fully fed all the time. I'm just have to go up top and fill them up constantly. But yeah, and once again, once they add the update where we're actually able to control what our water pumps are pumping, we'll be able to pump purified water again and just have these things automated. But for now, if you want to be in a polluted area, it's the best thing I can suggest for you to do is set yourself up like a purified water dispenser sort of setup like I have going on there. Except for, maybe have a gathering storage container and just go gather some dirty water up. You can also just gather dirty water up and make boiled water and put it in the storage containers. But besides that, I do believe this is all. I am out. See you. Keep it beast mode.